So let's get right into it. What is financial aid? Now, for many of you, this is going to be a basic question, but we have folks of all different levels of context in the college process here at CollegeVine, and so I want to start with just some of the basics. So what is financial aid? Financial aid is an award from colleges that is given out to you based on your family's financial need. It's basically money that you receive either from colleges, from the federal government, or from state and local governments that is granted to you to help offset the cost of attending college. Like I said, it's granted by different levels of government as well as institutions. So let's get into how financial aid is calculated. This is the basics. We'll do a deeper dive into the formula and what specific elements are considered, but these are the basics. So the financial aid calculation is going to take into account the income and certain financial assets of one or both parents or guardians, as well as of the students. These metrics are taken together and used to calculate what's known as an expected family contribution, or EFC. This is supposed to be the amount that you as a family are expected to pay out of pocket each year. And then another concept to know is that the gap between the total cost of attendance, which is the sum of the tuition, any fees, room and board, that sort of cost of attendance minus your EFC is what's called your family's demonstrated need. Now, some colleges will guarantee that they're going to meet 100% of your demonstrated need, while others will only meet a portion or even none at all. So there's some colleges that guarantee, hey, we're going to meet 100% of your demonstrated need if we accept you, whereas others will only meet a portion of your demonstrated need or none at all. And it's often used as a recruitment tool by individual institutions. So what is the difference between, say, federal financial aid and institutional financial aid? So the federal government has some government programs that you can use to get some money towards your college degree. The first is what are known as Pell Grants. This is basically just a grant or money that you can receive. And it's mainly for low-income households where your total household income is less than $65,000. The federal government also determines your eligibility for what are known as work-study jobs, where you essentially get a job on campus. Now, these programs are administered by the institutions, by the individual college that you're attending, but the money for these programs comes from the federal government. And then finally, the federal government's biggest source of financial aid, though it's debatable whether this is truly financial aid, is student loans. And that's both student loans that are taken out by a student, as well as what are known as Parent Plus loans that you as a parent can take out. And the final thing to note is that while the federal government does give out a lot of money in an absolute sense, for most students, the majority of your financial aid is going to come from the individual institutions in the form of institutional grants. So what is the difference between financial aid and merit aid, also more commonly known as scholarships? So financial aid is money that's given to you based on your family's financial needs. So regardless of the strength of your application, your family is going to receive money or not receive money depending on your level of financial need. It's controlled by a dedicated financial aid office at the university, and there are financial aid officers who review your application and determine how much money you should be receiving. And financial aid is pretty much the only type of aid that's given out by highly selective colleges like the Ivy League schools or UChicago or MIT or Stanford. Merit aid is aid that's given to you based on the strength of your application. These are more commonly called scholarships, right? Scholarships are actually controlled by the admissions office. So the same people who are deciding, yes, you should get accepted or no, you shouldn't get accepted are also the ones who determine whether you receive merit aid or merit scholarships. And merit scholarships are less common at selective colleges